Well, hello again, Steve here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I think Trump could have really jazzed up his July 4th celebration, as so many people in the left like to call it. It was all about him grandstanding and stuff. So the thing is here, well, first of all, I'm a bit late to this parade, but so what? Better late than never. Comments on this. But the thing is that Trump, he's never going to satisfy the left anyway. So why he would bother pandering to them at all is kind of shocking to me. But once again, power of positive thinking is what he's all about. He's always trying to get them on board, and maybe he's right in the long run. But I mean, the left has gone completely off the rails. So much so that it doesn't matter what Trump does, no matter what he had done. If he tried to pander to them, they would have said he was trying to something or whatever. Nothing he's ever going to do is going to be okay for them. So at this point, he might as well just go full hog and just think about his, I guess. Well, who am I, though? I'm just somebody making a comment here. But maybe he could have just played to his fans let let everybody else, to hell with everybody else in a way, and let them come on board eventually, because that's where the momentum is going right now. It's going to more nationalist, populist type of people. That's the trend, right? So because the accusation the left had, of course, this was all about Trump grandstanding and having a military parade and whatever, and showing his bluster and whatever. But at the same time, I mean, this is completely ridiculous because my understanding is what was spent on the. It's not his parade, right? Because it happens every year, July 4th. They always host some sort of a July 4th thing with fireworks and stuff like that. As far as I know, I mean, they do that up in Canada. They don't call it Justin Trudeau pandering when they have some fireworks on Canada Day. You know, of course not, because he was put in there by the leftists. But when it's Trump that does it, it's all about Trump, right? And nothing to do with anything else, which is nonsense. Having some military in there, well, I mean, he's the commander in chief, and they've America's, they're right in their national anthem is bombs in the air, for God's sakes, rockets, red flares, bombs bursting in air. I mean, that's their national anthem, and and the thing is that it is rather American tradition anyway to show military strength. I remember back in the day, I think this was back in, I'm going to say the late 80s, early 90s, I was actually in the Amway organization very briefly. Friends of mine had gotten into it. They asked me if I'd sign up. I signed up. I bought some of their product, and they invited me to this big jamboree sort of thing down at the Kingdome at the time in Seattle. It was massive. It was full. And they had these speakers from all over the place, and they were rah-rah and so on. And they had an honor guard from the U.S. Marines or something at an Amway convention. I mean, at an Amway convention, they had the Marines. Well, what do you expect on July 4th in Washington? I mean, they're going to have something, right? So they have a tank or two. But I think that Trump maybe missed an opportunity to take this to the next level. Because after all, the U.S. tradition of military began with militias. And these were private organizations, local people who set up little militia garrisons and so on in their local towns and their local villages, their local counties and whatever, to defend themselves. And that's the origin of their tradition. It's become federalized, the military, but it never was originally. And I think Trump maybe missed an opportunity to call out for a national day of open carry right in Washington. That would have been awesome, especially if it was like muskets, right? And I think he should have worn General Patton's ivory handled pistols, one on either side, while he gave his speech. That would have been great. That would have been awesome. It would have been hilarious. The left would have just tore their hair out, which is perfect, which is all Trump 100%. It'd be kind of cool if he, pulled his jacket back once in a while and put his hand on his hip, and then a big, huge Colt 45 was hanging there, and then same on the other side. It would have been awesome. Better still if he got rid of the jacket. He just went out there with the Colts hanging off of his wide hips. And it would be great if he had staged like a mock firing of muskets, like a brigade of militiamen who had somewhere near the White House. They could have just built like a backdrop, like a sandbag backdrop and stuff, and they had like a shootout of a bunch of like several hundred muskets firing at once. That would have been perfect. And if he invited in all the alternative media, not the regular media. Well, they can come in too, but the alternative media can come in, guys like Infowars and stuff like that, to film the shootout at the at the White House. That would have been awesome. That would have been just, it would have been absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. And, they could have had, the optics of it after all the shooting was going, because they'd be playing the national anthem when the shooting was going on. And at the end of it, they'd have like, the flag would still be there. They could have had the flag, and how the muskets, when they're going off, they get all this smoke billowing out, and it would be obscuring the flag. And then once all the smoke settled, and the flag was still there, that would have been just, it would have been just absolutely epic, epic, epic. Especially, I think, Trump wearing the double, whatever they were, Colt 45s or something at his hips. That would have been just perfect. But that would probably not be allowed. Trump probably wouldn't get away with it. But anyways, I don't think that Trump's, and even though I didn't watch it, apparently did a good speech. But this idea that having military and flyovers by fighter planes and so on like that is something new in America. I mean, those sort of things happen in Ottawa. Like there's what do they call them? They fly over some F-18s, and they fly over the snowbirds and all that. This stuff happens all over the place, right? I've been to air shows in, Abbotsford and different places, and they have military flights and soldiers and displays all the time. Whenever you have a major national celebration, no matter what country it is, you have the military there, because what is a country but a part of an empire, right? It's like, a border is where two tyrants stop fighting, right? And that's what a country is a military camp at the end of the day. So the national celebration has military. So no, Trump didn't go overboard. I don't think he went far enough to antagonize the left, because he seems like he's playing this, power of positive thinking, and he thinks he's dealing with rational people. Maybe, I don't know. But he's not. He's dealing with some very dangerous, deranged, mentally disturbed people. And I think rattling their cage a little bit more with a couple of Colt 45s hanging at his hips would have been not only hilarious, it would have been excellent optics. Steve here, great chatting. If you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.